I'm standing in the doorway of the life we didn't lead, amongst the ghosts of every word and every planted seed. The wallpaper is peeling back like skin upon a wound, revealing all the melodies that never were attuned. There's a cradle in the corner that we never got to buy, and a suitcase by the window where we never said goodbye. The dust is settling softly on the could have been and almost, and I'm the only living soul invited by the host. The clock upon the mantelpiece is frozen at the start, before the pride and prejudice had torn us both apart. I see a version of us where I stayed and fought the fire, instead of letting silence be the end of our desire. In this light, you're smiling and your hand is touching mine. We're aging like a vintage, getting sweeter with the wine. But I blink and see the cobwebs where the laughter should have been, trapped inside the borders of a world I've never seen. And I'm pacing through a room full of what ifs, clutching at the edges of 1,000 jagged cliffs. What if I had listened? What if you had stayed? What if we had fixed the tiny cracks that we ignored today? It's a gallery of shadows, a museum of regret, holding every promise that we haven't broken yet. It's a heavy kind of haunting, it's a lonely kind of bliss, in a room full of what ifs and the ghosts of every kiss. They say the past is written, that the ink is long since dry, but I'm still editing the script beneath the hollow sky. I'm building up the rafters with the should have done and might, trying to keep the ceiling from collapsing in the night. But you can't live in a house that's built on imaginary floor, and I can't find a handle to the exit of the door. Jagged cliffs. What if I had listened? What if you had stayed? What if we had fixed the tiny cracks that we ignored today? It's a gallery of shadows, a museum of regret, holding every promise that we haven't broken yet. It's a heavy kind of haunting, it's a lonely kind of bliss, in a room full of what ifs and the ghosts of every kiss. What if I called you? What if it's too late? What if this is nothing but a self-inflicted fate? I'm sitting on the floor now, in the dark, in the cold, in a room full of what ifs, watching us grow The world is moving forward, I can hear the engines roar, people chasing sunsets while I'm staring at the floor. The calendar is turning, pages flying in the breeze, but I'm frozen in the moment when you brought me to my knees. I try to lift the heavy chain, I try to cut the line, but every link is forged with memories of when you were mine. The harbor's getting quiet and the ships have sailed away while I'm still standing on the pier where we stood yesterday. Oh, I see the city changing, neon lights and taller glass, watching all the strangers and the happy lovers pass. They tell me just keep swimming, and they tell me let it go, but there's a weight beneath the surface that they'll never know. It's the way you used to whisper, it's the smell of your coat, it's the forever that you promised in that crumpled little note. The tide is pulling harder, trying to drag me to the deep, but I'm guarding all the secrets that I promised I would keep. And I'm anchored in the past, stuck beneath the waves, amongst the ruins of our love and all our shallow graves. The future's just a phantom that I'm too afraid to meet, while the iron of your absence keeps the victory complete. I'm sinking in the used to be, I'm drowning in the then, wishing I could find a way to start it all again. But the current can't move me, I'm built to never last, just a broken heart anchored in the past. Oh, rust is eating at my spirit, salt is stinging in my eyes. I'm the only one who didn't see the darkening of skies. I could break the metal, I could swim up for the air, but if I leave the bottom, I won't find you waiting there. I'd rather stay down in the dark and hold on to the weight than breathe a single breath of life. And it's governed by this fate. I'm anchored in the past, stuck beneath the waves, amongst the ruins of our love and all our shallow graves. The future's just a phantom that I'm too afraid to meet, while the iron of your absence keeps the victory complete. I'm sinking in the used to be, I'm drowning in the then, wishing I could find a way to start it all again. But the current can't move me, I'm built to never last, just a broken heart anchored in the past. Let the water get colder, let the ships disappear. I'm staying right here. I'm staying right here, in the rust, in the blue anchor too. I'm looking at the clock up on the wall, watching the seconds stumble and fall. We knew the sunset was coming for us, but we traded our gold for the iron and rust. I held your hand like a lifeline cord, while the waves came crashing over the board. We were building a home on a shifting shore, knowing the tide would come back for more. And no, it's a bitter pill to swallow down when you're a king without a kingdom or a crown. We were living on moments we couldn't afford, playing a song with a missing chord. Now the debt is due and the sky is gray, because we were only living on borrowed time that we never could repay. The calendar pages are scattered like leaves, the ghost of your laughter is all that breathes. I check my pockets for a minute to spare, but I'm reaching for something that isn't there. We stole the fire from a dying spark, just to keep waiting for the silence that follows death. I'm standing at the window, watching the climb of a sun that doesn't care about our borrowed time. Just a little more time. Ooh, but the meter's empty, and so am I. Ticking of a metronome, slow fade with the ticking of a metronome. I can still see the shore, it's only a step away, but my feet are heavy like they're made of desert clay. The world looks on and tells me I should be just fine, since the water's only reaching to this heart of mine. They don't see the salt or the way the current pulls in this tiny little basin where the silence rules. I'm standing in a puddle, but I'm losing every breath. It's a low tide tragedy, a quiet kind of death. You didn't leave a canyon or a mountain in your wake, just a steady, constant ripple from a single small mistake. Now I'm stumbling in the ripples of the used to be, in a glass of spilled water that has become my sea. I'm gasping for the air while the sun is shining bright, in 2 inches of sorrow in the middle of the light. It's embarrassing to suffer when the knees are barely wet, but I'm sinking in the pressure of a love I can't forget. And I'm drowning in shallow water, feet on the ground, but I can't find the air. Drowning in shallow water, and nobody notices I'm even there. It doesn't take an ocean to wash the soul away, just a heart that's too tired to live another day. Yeah, I'm going under where the sunlight's still clear, drowning in the shallow water of a single tear. If the waves were 100 feet high, the world would understand why I'm saying goodbye. But how do you explain that you're losing the fight to a memory so thin, yet it's holding you tight? The bottom is so close, I can touch it with my hand, but I've forgotten the feeling of solid land. Yeah, I'm drowning in shallow water, feet on the ground, but I can't find the air. Drowning in shallow water, nobody notices I'm even there. It doesn't take an ocean to wash a soul away, just a heart that's too tired to live another day. Yeah, I'm going under where the sunlight's still clear, drowning in the shallow water of a single tear. So close to the surface, but I'm too weak to rise. Watching the blue through these broken glasses, just a little bit of water, but it's enough to let go. Drowning in the only life I know. is cold, the wood is dark and still. I tried to play a song, but I lost the will. My fingers hover where the iris turned to gray, just like the vibrant life that started slipping away. I see the mark, your coffee mug left on the lid, next to the sheet music where our secrets are hid. The air is heavy with the scent of cedar and thyme, and a melody that's missing its reason and rhyme. The middle C is sticking, it's a stubborn, lonely note, like the lump of unspoken words caught in my throat. I remember your laughter dancing on the higher end, before the harmony broke and we couldn't pretend. Now the moonlight is the only thing that touches the keys, playing a ghostly sonata for the birds in the trees. I'm staring at the velvet, so worn and so red, thinking of all the I love yous we left unfed. And then there's dust on the piano keys tonight, settling down on the black and the white. A soft gray blanket for the music we made, watching the echoes of our symphony fade. If I touch the notes, I'll just find a sting of a beautiful, broken and hollow thing. The silence is loud and the rhythm is free under the dust on the piano keys. I could take a cloth and wipe the surface clean, erase every shadow of what we have been. But the friction would hurt and the clarity's worse than living inside of this melodic curse. The dirt is a witness, the film is a shield from the wounds of a heart that refuses to heal. Settling down on the black and the white. A soft gray blanket for the music we made, watching the echoes of our symphony fade. If I touch the notes, I'll just find a sting of a beautiful, broken and hollow thing. The silence is loud and the rhythm is free under the dust on the piano key. No more chords, no more light, no more light. Just the grit of the years in the middle of the night. The song is over, the lid is down, and I'm the only sound in this empty town. Dust to dust, us to nothing. The sign came up today like you didn't even know that the world stopped turning half a year ago. I'm walking through the market, seeing colors in the fruit, but the bitterness is deeper, taking hold within the root. I see a cold like yours in a passing crowded street, and for a second I'm forgotten and the air is bittersweet. But the silhouette dissolves into a straight as cold stare. reaching out for nothing but the empty winter. They say the time's a healer, but the jagged edge of sin. But they never felt the tremor and a lonely reaching hand. The clock is just the measure of the distance when you spark. I count down to the moment when the room stays permanently dark. I'll free the reins of furniture to hide your vacant space, but there isn't enough velvet to cover up your face. The memories are pretty, but it waits until I sleep to pull me back to promises I wasn't there to keep. And I'm living in a reach of Greek's long shadow. No shadow. It's not a heavy curtain, it's not a bolted door. It's just the way the light doesn't hit the kitchen floor. It's the cold side of a pillow, it's the quiet in the hall. It's the ghost of your affection weaving up against the wall. It follows me, it swallows me. The sun is going down, and the shadows getting far. It's blending with the darkness until I'm nothing at all. Just a shadow, just a creep, waiting for the night to bring relief. Just a shadow, just a creep, waiting for the night to bring relief. The surface is a mirror that I cannot seem to break, reflecting every choice and every silent slow mistake. I see the life we used to have, the sunlight on the blue, but I'm sinking in a memory of everything with you. The pressure's building in my chest, a heavy cold embrace, as I watch the ripples wash away the features of your face. I thought that I was swimming, thought that I could reach the shore, but the weight of what we lost is pulling me down to the floor. The silence down here is a song I learned to sing by heart, a symphony of static since the day we fell apart. I watch the bubbles of my sorries float up toward the light, disappearing in the distance like a star within the night. My lungs are burning with the things I never got to say, locked inside a heartbeat that is drifting far away. It's a peaceful kind of torture, yeah, it's a quiet kind of pain, waiting for the ocean to turn back into the rain. Yeah, and I'm just holding my breath unaware. is about. If I take a breath, then the water fills the space, and I finally lose the rhythm of your grace. I'd rather suffocate on the thought of your kiss than live in a world that feels empty like this. Yeah, I'm just holding my breath underwater, waiting for the ghost of your hand to reach down. In a world getting colder and darker, I'm learning how to live while I drown. I won't let the air out, I won't let you go. Even if the current is all that I know, just a desperate heart in the deep, holding my breath underwater. It's getting quiet now, the light is so far away. I'm still holding on to what we couldn't say down here in the blue. Still waiting for you. I checked the mirror, but the glass slipped thin, like a frame with no picture resting within. I'm going through the motions, I'm checking the boxes, chasing the ghosts of the old paradoxes. I put on your sweater just to feel the weight, but it's just empty wood and the protest of fate. The echo in the hallway is getting too loud, like a thunderless sky or a summer's cloud. I'm eating my dinner off a paper plate, cause watching China feels like carrying freight. There's a cave in my chest where the rhythm used to reside, a backstroking cane where I used to hide. I listen for your footsteps, I listen for the keys, but all I hear is the wind rattling in the trees. It's a strange kind of hunger that fool cannot fill, a heart that stopped beating but is aching still. And oh God, I'm hollow, I'm light as a leaf, just a shell held together by the blue of my grief. There's a draft in my soul where you used to be, and the silence is starting to swallow me. I'm a bell with no deck or a book with no lines, a cold empty grotto with no more wine. I'm just a silhouette of a man tomorrow, waking up hollow and drowning in sorrow. You took the color, you took the sound, you took the gravity to get me on my brown. Now I'm just resting, a ghost in a suit. The tree is still standing, but there's no more food. Tap on my shoulder and you hear the ring of a metal cold, empty and meaningless band. There's a craft in my soul nothing to fear, no more spark, just a hole in the sheep of blue. And everything I do, the key still fits the front door lock, but everything else has come to a stop. Paintings on the wall, pictures on the shelf, they look like strangers I don't know myself. We catch a bite on that rainy day, it's where I sit while the memories play. A silent film in black and white of how we used to share the light. 1,000 miles from where we drew the line. I lost the map, I missed the sign. The road ahead is broken glass. I'm stuck here watching moments pass. Used to be wild, you used to be mine. Now I'm just drinking cheap sour wine, staring at the ceiling, fighting back the tear. Oh God, tell me, how did I get here? They said a time that's supposed to heal, but every morning I still feel the hideaway, the biting cold, a story that can't be neatly told. Is it the fight in the space we took, the promises we broke by the book, or just the sadness that grows so deep while I was careless and you fell asleep? 1,000 maps from every to the light. I lost the map, I missed the sign. The road ahead is broken glass. I'm stuck here watching moments pass. Used to be wild, you used to be mine. Now I'm just drinking cheap sour wine, staring at the seal, fighting back a chill. Oh God, tell me, how did I get here? If I could rewind just one single hour before the well, before the flower lost its petals in the biting air. But I had loved you better, gentle with more care. I trade all my tomorrows, someone yesterday, just to find the words I couldn't share. I took for granted every single touch, never knowing I could miss this much. 1,000 miles from where we drew the line. I miss the sun, miss the sun. Moments that used to be a world, you used to be mine. Now I'm just taking cheap sour wine, staring at the seal, fighting back the tear. Oh God, tell me, how did I get here? 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 Along with others' feet, you're gone and the pack is unclear. The ghost of you is near. How did I get here? The streetlights bleed through the window pane. Another night, the same old rain. My coffee's cold, the hour's late, just staring at this empty plate. A ghost in my own living room, haunted by the lingering perfume of a love that didn't stay. Watching all the colors turn to gray. And the silence here is so loud, lost within a lonely crowd. No one sees the tears I hide, with nothing left of me inside. The world would just keep spinning around. If I could only not be found, maybe I'll just disappear. Erase the fact that I was here. I trace the lines upon your side of the bed, replaying everything that we once said. The forevers feel like a cruel joke now, a broken promise, I don't know how to breathe when every breath is pain, to walk when every step is strain. You were the anchor that I used to hold. Now I'm just drifting out into the cold. And the silence here is so loud, lost within a lonely crowd. No one sees the tears I hide, with nothing left of me inside. The world would just keep spinning around. If I could only not be found, maybe I'll just disappear. Erase the fact that I was here. If I faded to a memory, would anyone even care to see? To search the shadows for a trace, or fill this hollow empty space? I'm just a whisper in the wind, a story that began in sin, by believing that a heart could mend when you read my writing too again. And the silence here is just so loud, it's just so lost within a lonely queen, a lonely crowd. And no one sees the tears I hide, with nothing left of me inside. The world would just keep spinning around. If I could only not be found, maybe I'll just disappear. Erase the fact that I was here. Just let me fade away, fade away. The lights are dimming now. Don't know how. Maybe I'll just disappear. Sound of a distant, static filled radio. Sound of a distant, static filled radio, fading out. I'm making the bed like I always do, smoothing the side that belonged to you. I'm checking the mail and I'm hanging the coat, while a scream stays locked in the back of my throat. I smile at the neighbors and comment on the sky, telling the world just a standard white lie. But the foundation's shaking beneath my feet as I walk through a life that is no longer sweet. The grocery list still has your favorite wine. I'm crossing it out with a trembling line. The TV is humming to fill up the room, but it can't chase away the gathering gloom. I'm holding a glass that's beginning to crack, waiting for someone who's never coming back. It's not a loud crash or a glass on the floor, it's the sound of a heart that can't take anymore. And I'm slow, heavy minutes I watch as they pass. I'm holding it together with a thread and a prayer while I'm falling apart in this empty chair. The world keeps on turning, but I'm losing the taking. Inside of the skin, I'm quietly breaking. If I screamed out your name, will the buildings all fall? Will the sky turn to black? Will you hear the call? But I just keep my head down and follow the lead of a heart that is learning how slowly to bleed. It's a silent demolition, a private retreat, the sound of a soul admitting defeat. Sirens wailing, no shattering glass, just the slow, heavy minutes I watch as they pass. I'm holding it together with a thread and a prayer while I'm falling apart in this empty chair. The world keeps on turning, but I'm losing the taking inside of the skin. I'm quietly breaking. So I'll pour the tea, and I'll turn out the light, and I'll handle the nothing that's wrong with the night. Piece by piece, breath by breath, just a quiet kind of death. Quietly breaking, quietly gone. It starts as a shiver at the base of my spine, a physical ghost of when your hand was a 9. It travels through chambers where the blood used to burn, past the pages of lessons I refuse to learn. It gobbles the dust from the shelf in the hall, and the echoes of shadows that lean on my wall. It's a hollow point bullet made of nothing but air, looking for traces of you everywhere. It climbs up my throat like a secret suppressed. The weight of a mountain expanding my chest. It tastes like the coffee we shared in the rain, and the metallic sting of a permanent stain. Oh, it's the words we whispered, the always we lost, the tally of hours and the heavy sick calls. I try to keep it inside, try to hold back the flood, but it's woven like iron deep into our blood. This is the anatomy of the sight, the sound of a promise beginnings to rise. The oxygen story for one more hello. not quite a speed, and it's not quite a prayer. Just the shape of the space where you're no longer there. It's the exhale remains of a heart-shaped balloon, wandering under a cold silver moon. If I let it all out, will there be nothing left? Just a body, a bowl, and a spirit, the This is the anatomy of a son of a promise to get into God. The oxygen stopping for one more hello. The bridge between staying and letting you go. It's a river, the wreckage, a blueprint, a pain, the ghost of your after, the scent of the rain, from the depth of the lungs to the edge of the sky. It's the lonely anatomy of a sigh. Hold my breath out, but you don't come back in. Just the cold where your heartbeat has been. Hear it fall, hear it fade into the silence that we need. The moonlight stretches long across the floor, like it's looking for the shoes you don't wear anymore. I'm lying on the edge, afraid to move an inch, feeling the reality in every heavy flinch. I reached out in my sleep to find your tangled hair, but my fingers only graze the frozen empty air. It's funny how a space that's only 3 feet wide can feel like a canyon where a heart goes too high. Yeah. I'm staring at the pillow where your head used to rest, feeling the hollow ache inside my weary chest. The scent of your perfume is a fading ghost-like trace, wandering the room looking for a familiar face. I used to complain that you took up all the room. Now the silence in this house is a slow-growing tomb. I'm shivering in the dark, wrapped in cotton and regret, in a tragedy of timing that I haven't finished yet. And I'm freezing on the cold side of the bed, living with the ghosts of the things we never said. It's a desert of linen, it's a mountain of ice, paying for our always with a lonely, heavy price. I can't find the warmth no matter how never said it's a desert of linen. It's a mountain of lies, paying for our always with a lonely, heavy price. I can't find the warmth no matter how I try. Under the weight of a starless indoor sky, just a heart-shaped stone where the fire used to be. On the cold side of the bed, just the ghost of you and me. It's so cold, the sheets feel like snow. I'm waiting for the summer, but I watched it go. Still on my side, still reaching out, knowing what empty is really about. The cold side, the lonely side. Good night. I look for it in the charcoal of a burnt out cigarette, in the bruised and purple shadows of the sun that hasn't set. I used to think that sadness was a simple shade of blue, but that was back before I learned the art of losing you. Now the hallways are yellow, the sickly indicator, and the garden is a type of where I sun the plant to lay. I'm staring at the ceiling, trying to find a name for the temporary morning that will never be the same. It's the silver of the cutlery you left inside the sink. It's the neon of the barroom when I've had too much to drink. It's a pale and hollow valley, like the veins upon my wrist, searching for the warmth of all the moments that we missed. I try to paint over the walls to wash away the years, but the pigment just dissolves inside the chemistry of tears. Every room is saturated, every corner is a stain of a hue that's only visible when walking through the rain. I've had know the color of loneliness. It's the white of a page when there's nothing the flicker of the primary stories we told. But the saturation's fade and the world is moving great, and I'm just a ghost sitting in the middle of it. Everything's bleeding into one only tone. The universal frequency of being alone. This is the color of your name, fading in the bark. It's the color of a space where you left your mark. Just the wash of gray, just the blur of blue, the color of me without you. The calendar is lying, it says that it's July, but there's a bit of frost falling from a clear blue sky. I'm shivering in the garden where the roses used to grow. Now they're just black thorns buried under phantom snow. I check the thermostat, I turn the heater high, but it can't reach the center where our memories go to die. The sun is just a coin, distant and cold, spinning all the warmth that we no longer hold. Your ghost is in the hallway, leaving footprints on the floor. I can feel the draft coming from the closing of the door. I used to find my summer in the rhythm of your breath. Now the quiet in this house feels like a living death. I'm wearing 3 layers, but I'm still bone deep blue, searching for the sweater that still smells like you. The birds have all flown south, they knew when to leave, while I'm still standing here with nothing but my sleeve. And I'm living through the longest winter of my life, where the silence is a mountain and the wind is a knife. There's no sign of a thaw, no green in the park, just a frozen over heart beating in the dark. You took the solstice with you when you walked away, leaving me in the shadows of a short gray day. Yeah, the ice is setting in and the fire's gone thin in the longest winter I've ever been in. They say that every season has a reason, and that the spring is just waiting around the next bend. But the clock has stopped ticking, the gears are all seized, and I'm just a prayer that's begun to freeze. still freezing in the garden of our doom. Wait for the sun, but the sun doesn't know. I'm lost in the drift of the long winter snow. We're standing in the hallway where the evening light falls long, right back in the rhythm of a rhythm gone all wrong. The sun is sinking lower, casting shapes upon the wall, but we're not touching anymore. We're not anything at all. I look down at the carpet where our silhouettes are laid, two dark and lonely outlines in a world of gray and shade. There's a thin and jagged canyon in the inches on the floor, a distance I can't travel, though I've crossed it times before. Yeah. Your hand is just a heartbeat from the sleeve upon my arm, but the coldness in the middle is a different kind of harm. We used to be one shadow, a single steady flame. Now we're just two strangers with a shared and broken name. The dust is dancing slowly in that empty hollow gap, a quiet little border, a cartographer's trap. I could reach out in the darkness, I could try to bridge the line, but the space is getting wider between your life and mine. And oh, it's the space between our shadows that's tearing me apart, the quiet empty vacuum at the center of my heart. It's only half a foot of wood, it's only air and light, but it feels like half a galaxy in the middle of the night. We're so close that I can hear you breathe, so close I see the tear, but the space between our shadows is the only thing that's clear. Yeah, it's a desert made of silence, it's a mountain made of stone, standing right beside you and feeling all alone. If the light would just go out, maybe then we'd be the same, buried in the darkness where there is no pride or blame. But the moon is far too honest and the lamp is far too bright, keeping us divided in the dying of the light. The closer that we stand, the further out they grow, the long and lonely shadows are the things we didn't know. How they drift away further and further. At the end of the day, I'm reaching for the dark, but I'm grasping at the light. The space between us is the longest night. Table set for two by habit's hand, a domestic ritual I don't understand anymore. I brew the coffee, I burn the toast, sitting across from a beautiful ghost. The morning light hits the mahogany wood. I'd move your placemat if I only could. But the space is heavy, the space is deep. It's a silent vigil I'm forced to keep. The sunlight dances where you used to lean, the quietest ache that I've ever seen. I reach for your hand but I grasp at the air, finding the gravity hidden in there. It isn't just wood and it isn't just cloth. It's the flame that died in the lonely moth. It's the punchline waiting for your sudden laugh. Now I'm just a whole living life as a half. Oh, the weight of an empty chair is a burden too heavy for a heart to bear. It's the loudest sound in this hollow room, a garden of shadows beginning to bloom. Anchored to the floor by the ghost of you, trying to breathe in a house built for two. It's a mountain of wood, it's a desert of prayer, just me and the weight of an empty chair. I could take it to the attic, I could hide it away, but the absence would follow, the absence would stay, because the void isn't shaped like a seed or a frame. It's shaped like your spirit, it's shaped like your name. The weight of an empty chair is a burden too heavy for a heart to bear. It's the loudest sound in this hollow room, a garden of shadows beginning to bloom. I'm anchored to the floor by the ghost of you, trying to breathe in a house built for two. It's a mountain of wood, it's a desert of prayer, just me and the weight of an empty chair. So I'll leave it right there at the head of the road, where the memories flicker and the cold winds blow, still waiting for you to walk through the door. But it's just the floorboards creaking and the weight of the air. Single weight of an eclipse chain. Yeah, and the weight of an empty chair is a burden too heavy for a heart to bear. It's the loudest sound in this hollow room, shadows beginning to bloom. I'm anchored to the floor by the ghost of you, trying to breathe in a house built for two. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The ceiling fan is spinning like a slow and tight door, tying knots and all the lessons that you're leaving finally taught. The sheets are cold beside me, a wide and empty claim, while the clouds are gathering to start the day and day. I reach out in the darkness, a habit I can't break, only to remember the price of my mistakes. The first few drops are tapping like a ghost against the glass, counting all the lonely hours I have to watch pass. The coffee brewing in the kitchen, but I'm paralyzed in bed, replaying every bitter word and everything we left unsaid. The sky is bruised and heavy, like another beat on my chest, giving me a million reasons why I shouldn't try my best. I used to love the rhythm of the storm when you were near, wrapped inside your arms. I had nothing left to fear, but now the thunder's hollow, just a low and lonely sound. There were heartbreaks, lost his anchor, and he's finally hitting ground. And I'm waking up to the rain again, chasing the path where the summer has been. It's washing the dust off the memories we made, but it can't bring back the light that you chose to let fade. Every drop is a sorry, every splash is a wave, falling down from a gray and a broken heart sky. Yeah, the hardest part of losing you is the morning silent cave, waking up to the rain. I could pull the curtains tight and try to hide away, drown out the static of the dark and dreary day. But the rhythms of my blood now is leaking through the roof of a house that's built on secrets and a lack of living proof. There's no umbrella for the soul when the storm is inside, and there's nowhere left for a broken man to I'm waking up to the rain again, tracing the path where the summer has been. It's washing the dust off the memories we made, but it can't bring back the light that you chose to let fade. Every drop is a sorry, every splash is a wave, falling down from a gray and a broken heart sky. Yeah, the hardest part of losing you is the morning silent pain, waking up to the rain. Just another Tuesday with the water on the pane, just another lifetime of living with this stain. Let it fall, let it wash me away. I'm just waking up to the rain. found the letter tucked behind the shelf, the one you wrote before you found yourself. The ink was bold, the lines were straight and true, a handwritten promise of a life with you. But the window's leaking from the midnight storm, and the kitchen's cold where it used to be warm. A single drop hits the center of the page, and the I love you starts to drift and fade. Now I'm just watching the ink run, losing the battle we thought we'd won. The blue turns to gray and the black turns to ghost. The words that I needed are the ones I miss most, like a watercolor memory of a setting sun. I'm standing in the rain, watching the ink run. Your signature is blurring into the white, slow motion shadow in the flickering light. I try to catch the edges with my trembling hand, but you can't save a castle built upon the sand. The forever is bleeding into the goodbye, until there's nothing left but a dark, streaky sky. I'm holding on to paper that's heavy and torn, cursing the day that this silence was born. Once it was permanent, once it was deep, the kind of secrets you promised to keep. But water is stronger than a pen's lonely trace, and time is a river that washes and frays. I'm just watching the climb, losing the battle we thought we'd won. The blue turns to gray and the black turns to gold. The words that I needed are the ones I miss most. Caught up in the memory of the setting sun. I'm standing in the rain, watching the ink run. Yeah, pages watching plain justice to soggy mess and empty heart. In a tattered dress, I'm staring at the stains of what used to be us, turn into liquid, turn into dust. Watching the ink run, watching it go, until there's nothing left to know. I'm walking through the rooms of a house that isn't ours, counting down the minutes, then I'm counting down the hours. I see you in the corner where the sunlight hits the dust, tracing out a circle in the ruins of our trust. I reach to touch your shoulder, but my hand just passes through, a shimmering reminder of the girl I thought I knew. The scent of your vanilla still lingers on the breeze, bringing all my strength down to a shaking, lonely knees. I tried to paint the hallway, tried to change the kitchen floor, but I still hear your laughter through the rattling of the door. You're sitting at the table with a book and half a smile, a vision that stays steady for a heartbreaking while. Then the vision starts to flicker like a candle in a storm, leaving me with nothing but a space that's never warm. I'm living in a museum of the choices that we made, watching every memory start to yellow and to fade. And I'm dancing with yesterday's ghost tonight, trying to hold on to shadows in the pale moonlight. You're a whisper in the hallway, a name upon the wind, a story of a lifetime that was never meant to end. I'm haunted by the always and the way you used to be. Now yesterday's ghost is the only one who talks to me. Yeah, I'm chasing after footprints on a path that's long since cold, losing every piece of you that I was meant to hold. The neighbors think I'm crazy talking to the empty air, but they don't see the phantom sitting in your favorite chair. They don't know the silence is the loudest sound I've heard, or the weight of every single unsaid, broken-hearted word. I'd rather be a haunted man than live a life alone, with a heart that's turned to iron and a spirit turned to stone. Trying to hold on to shadows in the pale moonlight. You're a whisper in the hallway, a name upon the wind, a story of a lifetime that was never meant to end. I'm haunted by the always and the way you used to be. Now yesterday's ghost is the only one who talks to me. Yeah, I'm chasing after footprints on a path that's long since cold, losing every piece of you that I was meant to hold. Wait for the morning, but the ghost never leaves. Wait for the healing, but the heart always grieves. Still in the corner, still in the hall. Yesterday's ghost is the hardest way to fall.